Hey guys, it's Steve. It is Sunday afternoon, March 14th, 2021. That's the date. And yeah, it is currently 1:31. Looking at my clock, 1:31 in the afternoon. Yesterday at this time it would have been 12:31, but it's 1:31 because we had to push clocks forward because of daylight savings. And yeah, daylight savings. I hate daylight savings, you know. Yeah, we get an extra hour of sunlight in the winter, or in the summer, not the winter. Winter is when it gets dark earlier, but we get extra sunlight, extra daylight in the summer, which is good, It'll get dark at like the sun will probably start setting around 8 o'clock-ish, but the sky won't be pitch black until like 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish. So yeah, you could be outside longer. You don't have to, be inside earlier. You don't have to. You know what I'm trying to say. You could be out more longer because it'll be light out. Because in the wintertime, when it gets dark early, you may not be able to be out for a long time. You have to go in earlier because you won't be able to see. Like, let's just say I want to go to the hockey rink or whatever, or play baseball, go to the baseball field. Well, the hockey rinks and the baseball fields, the parks, most of them don't have lights, or they do have lights, but they don't have them on because, they're only on when there's an actual game. They won't turn the light on for random people. And if it's too dark, you can't see, so that means we can't play baseball, so gotta go home, which sucks. And it gets dark at like 4, so you may not have enough time, But if it gets in the summer when it gets dark later, you could be out more longer. So yeah, that's a positive of daylight savings. But it just sucks when you lose an hour of sleep. You're all tired and shit. You lose an hour. Like the one in November, daylight savings ending time, that is when you push clocks backwards and you gain an hour. You gain an hour of sleep, which is good. It's still stupid having to change clocks, but you gain an hour, so that's good. But in the one in March, you lose an hour because you're pushing clocks forward, and so yeah, you lose an hour of sleep, and you're all tired as hell in the morning, which sucks ass. You feel like shit. Yeah. I just fucking hate that. It's not even good for your body, I heard daylight savings can lead to heart attacks and other health problems. So honestly, why do we do it? Ooh, we want to have more daylight, or we want to save electricity. Bullshit. That doesn't do shit. There are buildings like schools or office buildings and grocery stores that have the lights on even during the daytime. So what's the point? What is the point of that? I mean, seriously. Daylight savings, it's just... Why can't we just leave the clocks alone all year round, I mean, if you want it to get dark at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock during the summer, then why can't we just leave the time alone from now on, Don't switch it back in November, And what's the point of that, switching the time back in November? I mean, what is the point of that shit? Why can't we just leave the clocks alone all year round? If we didn't change clocks in November, it usually gets dark at like 5 o'clock in the winter time. So if we didn't change clocks, I think it'd get dark at 3, I think. Hang on. trying to think. Can't think straight right now. Would it get dark at 3 or 5? You know, maybe it'd get dark earlier. That's why you don't want it to get dark at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whatever. Yeah, 4 o'clock. I don't know, but it's just still stupid. Just leave the clocks alone all year round so we don't have to. And I just hate having to take the clock off the wall, you know? I just want to leave the clocks alone. I have to take the clock off the wall and set it at the right time. I want to make sure all my clocks are at the same time, and sometimes that can be hard. Just hate having to do that, you know? It's a pain in the ass doing that. I mean, fuck daylight savings. Just don't change the clocks in November. Yeah, it'll suck not getting an extra hour of sleep. That's the only reason why I like that one. But, you know, at the end of the day, that means we don't have to do this daylight savings crap anymore. We don't have to switch the clocks in March again and lose an hour of sleep. I mean, God, it's not good for your health. It's even worse when you gotta work or go to school in the morning. Well, there's no school on Sunday. Or what if you go to church or whatever on Sunday morning? Some people go to church, which church sucks and it's boring as hell. I was forced to go to church when I was a kid. I didn't give a shit. But, you know, what if you gotta go to church in the morning, you know? You're gonna be all fucking tired as hell. And usually the Monday after daylight savings is horrible because you're tired as hell and feeling like shit, and you're still trying to get used to it, you know? And it'll also be hard sleeping, you know? Let's just say you go to bed at like 11 p.m. That's the time you usually go to bed. Because of daylight savings, you push the clock forward. Yeah, 11 o'clock will become 12 o'clock. So you're usually able to fall asleep at 11, but you won't be able to fall asleep till 12. So you lose an hour and you're going to be tired in the morning, you know, for school or whatever. Fuck that. Or work. And some people forget about daylight savings. Like, you know, let's just say you gotta work in the morning or whatever on daylight savings. You forget to switch your clocks. And so, you know, let's just say you usually get up at 6 o'clock and you gotta be at work at 7, alright? Let's just say you start work at 7 o'clock. Well, you forgot about daylight savings, so you wake up at 6, which is now 7 o'clock, and then you get to work at 7, what you think is 7 o'clock, which is actually 8 o'clock. You're an hour late, and your boss, you're an hour late, where were you? You know, maybe the boss will be understanding, because it was daylight savings. It's alright, I understand daylight savings, I won't fire you or whatever. Or maybe the boss will be a douchebag and fucking fire you for being an hour late. All because of stupid daylight savings, you know? Fuck that. Same with November, you know? You usually get up at 6 and go to work get to work at 7. But you get up at 6, what you think is 6, which is actually 5 o'clock a.m. And then you get to work at what you think is 7, which is actually 6, and there's no one there, and you're thinking, where is everybody? And then you realize, oh, I'm an hour early, fuck! And I could have been sleeping, I could have gotten another hour of sleep, but no, I forgot to change clocks, you know? I mean, come on, screw this crap. There is no point in this daylight savings. Just, you know, leave the clocks alone. But yeah. I don't know. It's just dumb as hell. Fuck daylight savings. I mean, I just don't understand why we have to touch the clocks in general. You know, in November and in March. Again, the one in November is better because you gain an hour of sleep, but still stupid. You still have to remember to do it. To take the clock off the wall and do this crap. Hate doing that shit. I'm fucking tired as hell. I remember this morning and shit. You know, I woke up and it was almost 10 o'clock, which is the time I usually get up. But usually I like to wake up an hour before I actually get out of bed, you know? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I wake up, but I still like to, you know, be in my bed, you know, for another hour, you know, just to get prepared to wake. You know what? I don't like to wake up and get out of bed all of a sudden. You know, I don't like to get out of bed when I you know, just wake up, you know? You know what I'm trying to say? I'm sure some of you guys are the same way. I got up at I woke up, where I stopped dreaming and opened my eyes at 9:50. You know, as a daylight saving, and it's even worse, you know, if you're hungover. Daylight savings is worse when you're hungover, you know, you drink alcohol and beer the night before, and you wake up an hour early, you know, you lose an hour of sleep, and you're hungover. Oh, that's the worst. That's also what I fucking dealt with, because I had beer last night. You know, one of them, I still got one of my beer cans, Ice House, which is a good beer. Oh, man, and I was all tired and dizzy. You know, I didn't have a headache, I was just dizzy as hell. But, you know, fuck daylight savings. Just end it. Leave the damn clocks alone. Stop changing the time twice a year, in March and in November. There are some places that don't do daylight savings, like Arizona here in the United States. Arizona is one state. Saskatchewan in Canada, you know, they don't do daylight savings, and sure, maybe there are other places around the world that doesn't do daylight savings, but, you know, which lucky for them. I mean, why is it some places don't do daylight savings while other places do? It's either everywhere should do daylight savings, which none of them should, or none should do daylight savings, which none should. It's stupid. The fuck being tired on daylight savings. This daylight savings, usually when you change clocks, it's usually 2 o'clock in the morning. It usually goes from 1:59 to 3 o'clock. Or daylight savings ending, it goes from 1:59 to midnight again, or I think. And honestly, why of all times of the day does it have to be 2 a.m.? That's when most people are sleeping. You know, when I change clocks, I usually do it early, you know, before I go to bed. Why is it 2 a.m.? Oh, make sure you get up at 2 a.m. to change your clocks. No one wants to do that. You know, why is it 2 a.m. when you gotta change the clocks? Why not another time? Why not when you first wake up in the morning, like maybe 9 o'clock a.m. or maybe, I don't know, before you go to bed, before everyone goes to bed, like 10 o'clock. You know, why is it 2 a.m.? You know, I mean, come on. It's stupid. But yeah, this is my daylight savings rant. That's all I'm going to talk about. Maybe there's a couple things I didn't mention, but I don't feel like remembering or trying to remember them. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this daylight savings rant. I might do another one next year. Another daylight savings rant. I'll decide when that time comes. And yeah, so have a good one, guys.